Begin by standing in front of a full-length mirror. Turn so you can see your profile in the mirror and notice your posture as you stand naturally. Imagine you can draw a straight vertical line from your ear through your shoulder, hip, knee, and ankle. Compare how your body is different from that ideal vertical line. Where's your head in relation to that vertical line? Most of us carry our heads too far forward. Now I'd like you to imagine the first and most important Rolf line. This line comes up through the space between your legs, right up through the center of your torso. It's a line that travels up directly in front of your spine, right up through the middle of your body, up through your neck, all the way up to the top of your head. You could imagine that this line extends up through the top of your head like a string. We tell children this string reaches all the way up to your own personal star, so that your body is suspended from the string attached to a star. This is your space for your lifetime. You can reinforce your experience of this line with your breathing. Imagine as you inhale that you're breathing up your Rolf line. As you inhale, you can send awareness and your breath up through the inside of your body, right along that Rolf line, up through the top of your head. Inhale as you imagine this. Now look again at your profile in the mirror. Continue to breathe up, really having a sense of growing right up your Rolf line. You might even feel that this is the tallest I've ever been. The exhalation part of the breath can just be a gentle letting go, not a collapsing, but just a gentle exhaling and letting yourself be. Notice any changes now as you compare your current posture with that ideal vertical line through your ear, shoulder, hip, knee, and ankle. Has there been any improvement in balance and posture? Now lie down on your back on a carpeted soft surface. Continue to have the sense of breathing up even as you lie down. Then stretch out on the carpeted floor and relax. Allow the floor to support you. Allow yourself to be supported by the floor. Your inhale can continue to reinforce your Rolf line by breathing up all the way through the top of your head. With every exhale, just allow yourself to let go a little bit more. Now just allow your legs to relax and rest however they want. Your arms can be easy and relaxed. I'd like to introduce the concept of a cleansing breath. This breath depends on your imagination. Begin by imagining that you can breathe in through the soles of your feet. Now, even though this is not literally possible, you can imagine that you can breathe in a sense of energy through the soles of your feet. Allow that energy breath to travel up through the inside space of your legs into your pelvis and torso, up through your neck and out through the top of your head. This is a cleansing breath and is one long inhale from your feet all the way up through the top of your head, almost as if your body were an open pipeline for energy to flow through. Your exhale is just a letting go, relaxing into the carpet and allowing yourself to be just as you are. As you inhale using a cleansing breath, notice if it is easier to move the energy through your body in certain places and more difficult in others. Some of us have places in our bodies that may feel blocked. By imagining the energy breath flowing through you, you can begin to open up from the inside some of those places that might feel blocked. Continue to use your cleansing breath from your feet all the way up through the top of your head. Just be aware of any places in your body where it's more difficult to move that energy breath through. These are the places where you really need to use your imagination to begin to sense some energy moving through. The cleansing breath helps to cleanse the inner space of your body. Allow your exhale to help you let go of any heaviness so the inside space of your body can become open and light. Now I'd like you to turn your attention to the way your body is lying on the floor. What position are your legs in? What parts of your legs touch the carpet? Which way are your toes pointing? What is the angle of each foot, and how does each side compare? Is one foot turned out more than the other? How does that make a difference in the whole leg, comparing one side to the other? In order to sense these differences, you need to use your kinesthetic sense. This is your inner ability to become aware of the position of different parts of your body and their relationship to each other. Actually lift your head and look at your feet to see which one is turned out more. This is one way to check and develop the accuracy of your kinesthetic sense. If you notice that one foot is turned out more, then let your head go back to the floor and sense that same foot in the position you saw. This is a way to train and educate your kinesthetic sense. Notice how the position of your feet is related to the direction of your knees. Do your knees look in the same direction as your toes are pointing? And how are your feet and knees related? Follow this connection all the way up into your hips and pelvis. Does one whole leg feel different from the other? How does the feeling in your legs relate to how your pelvis is on the floor? Does one side of your buttocks feel heavier or more solid on the floor than the other? Move your awareness up into the space at the small of your back. How much space is there between you and the floor? Is the space symmetrical? Actually slide your hands under your waistline between your back and the floor and feel whether you imagine this space accurately. Then let your hands go. Now move your awareness up into your shoulder girdle. Notice which shoulder feels closer to its respective ear. Which shoulder feels wider or broader? Then move your awareness into your neck and notice the space between the back of your neck and the floor. If you have a lot of space behind your neck, you may notice that your chin is jutting forward. If this is the case, then actually bring your chin in to reduce the size of the space behind your neck. If you have just a small amount of space, you do not have to move your chin. If you have no space behind your neck, then bring your chin out a little. Ideally, you want about an inch or so of space between your neck and the floor. Now just let go of everything and take a cleansing breath from the soles of your feet all the way up to the top of your head. Use your exhale to let go even more. Feel this cleansing energy breath sweeping through the inside space of your body. Now I'll begin to ask you for some gentle movement. Begin with your feet by bringing the center of the back of your heels to the floor so that your toes are pointing straight up to the ceiling. Move your inner ankle bones straight toward each other so you're sliding your legs together right on your midline. For some of you, your inner ankle bones may touch, but most likely your feet will touch at the sides of your big toes. Your feet should not touch at your heels. Then, keeping your inner ankle bones toward each other, bring your waistline back to the floor. This means flatten your lumbar spine to the floor. This is a very small movement of tilting your pelvis under you in order to bring your waistline back to the floor. Do not bend your knees to accomplish this movement. Your stomach will be flat when you are doing this the correct way. Then from your waistline, breathe up through your neck. Have a sense of your neck extending and growing out of your waistline. Hold this position for 7 to 10 seconds. When you come to an exhale, just let go of everything in slow motion. Breathe again and allow yourself to relax even more. Now we'll repeat the same movement pattern with a slight variation. Begin again by bringing the center of the back of your heels to the floor, so your toes point straight up to the ceiling. Bring your inner ankle bones straight toward each other. Your feet will touch at the sides of your big toes. Then bring your waistline back to the floor so your stomach is flat. From your waistline, lengthen your neck so you have a sense of growing taller even in this lying down position. Stretch your arms overhead on the carpet and reach with your fingertips. Extend your heels down in the opposite direction so that's almost as if you are being stretched from your heels to your fingertips with your waistline going back to the floor. Continue to stretch for about 10 seconds. When you come to an exhale, just let go of everything. Allow your elbows to bend and your arms will rest gently on the carpet. Again, use your breath to help move that inner sense of energy flow up through your body and out to the top of your head. Again, bring your inner ankle bones straight toward each other and your waistline back to the floor. This time, place your hands on your stomach, which should be flat. Draw your knees up by dragging your heels, keeping your stomach flat and your waistline back to the floor. Eventually, your feet will be flat on the floor and your knees will be bent. Now just begin to pay attention to your breathing. What moves as you inhale? Notice what happens in your torso and in your whole body as you inhale and exhale. You may notice some movement in your stomach or in your rib cage. At this point, I'd like to introduce a shift in your breathing by having you inhale using the concept of the Rolf line. This line begins at your seat and moves up to the inside of your torso directly in front of your spine. This line goes up through your neck and out to the top of your head. As you inhale along this line, you'll begin to notice a shift in the movement of your breathing. Notice how your rib cage begins to expand as you breathe up your Rolf line. The exhale can be a gentle letting go. Imagine you can exhale out through the heart center of your chest, radiating the breath outward through the breastbone. So the inhale is the active part, breathing up, and the exhale is a letting go or radiating out through the heart center. Notice again what part of you moves as you breathe. As you breathe up your Rolf line, hopefully you begin to feel more involvement and more aliveness inside your rib cage. Notice your ribs expand as you breathe up, and feel your breath move up underneath your collarbones so you have a sense of breathing all the way up through your neck. Now I'd like to introduce the arm reach. Begin with just one arm at a time, making sure that your palm is down and your elbow bent. Reach down gently with that arm, sliding your fingers downward in the direction of your feet. Your hand will move gently and slightly under that side of your hip, and this movement will lower your shoulder. Then, keeping your hand where it is on the floor, gently bend your elbow by sliding it out for just 1 inch. Just breathe into that side of your rib cage and shoulder. Begin with your other arm, again making sure your palm is down and your elbow bent. Gently reach down with your fingertips in the direction of your feet, sliding your hand slightly under your hip. Then bend your elbow out for just 1 inch. Breathe into that side of your rib cage and shoulder. Then breathe up through your neck and out through the top of your head. We're ready now for the Rolf pelvic lift. Bring your feet and knees together. Your heels should be fairly well under your knees, neither touching your buttocks nor too far away. Begin by turning your tail under. This means you rotate your hips so that if you had a tail, you would be turning your tail under you. As you rotate your hips, you'll gently feel your waistline falling back to the floor and your stomach will be flat. Just turn your tail under and then let go so you can become familiar with this subtle movement. Now, just turn your tail under, and then keeping your tail under, lift your pelvis off the floor by bringing your knees forward. Your weight will shift onto your feet as your knees move forward. You only need to be 2 inches off the floor from the mid part of your back on down. Stay here for only a second. Bring your waistline directly back to the floor and press it against the carpet for about 10 seconds. At this point, your stomach should be very flat and your tail still turned under. Breathe up your Rolf line, up through your neck so that you have a sense of lengthening your neck from your waistline. Just let go gently of your pelvis and then your tail so that everything is relaxed. Breathe up your Rolf line all the way up to the top of your head, widening through your rib cage as you breathe up. Let's repeat this. Begin by turning your tail under. Lift by bringing your knees forward. Bring your waistline directly back to the floor. Now keep that waistline anchored solidly to the carpet and breathe up through your neck, right up your Rolf line. You can imagine that your spine grows longer from your waistline up through your neck. Then just let go of your pelvis and then your tail. Breathe up, expanding wide through your rib cage up to the top of your head. Now we'll integrate the arm movements into the pelvic lift. Begin by just turning your tail under. Lift by bringing your knees forward so you can stretch all the way from the top of your head. Then bring your waistline right back to the floor. Keeping your waistline pressed to the floor, breathe up through your neck. Then, using one arm at a time, just reach down gently, sliding your palm down as you reach toward your feet. Gently slide your elbow out an inch. Then you can repeat that movement with your other arm, reaching down gently and sliding your elbow out an inch. Breathe up again through your neck. Your waistline should still be pressed to the floor. Just let go of your pelvis and then your tail. Breathe up your Rolf line, feeling your rib cage expand. Gently bring one knee to your chest at a time and put a hand on each knee so that you can end up with both knees to your chest. Bring your knees straight toward you so that you're bringing them closer to your chest. Now push your knees into your hands so that your knees move slowly away from your chest. Your hands will resist the movement of your knees. As your knees push into your hands and away from your chest, you'll feel an optimum place of leverage to bring your waistline back to the floor. At this point, Breathe up through your neck to lengthen your spine. Then just let go and relax and take a gentle breath. Keep your knees to your chest and continue to breathe up. Gently roll over to one side to come up to a sitting position. Sit on the floor right on your sitting bones. These are the only bones that you can feel through your buttocks. You sit directly on your sitting bones with your feet flat on the floor in front of you and your knees bent. Place your hands over your knees and breathe up. Have a sense of your Rolf line coming from your seat right up to the center of your body in front of your spine, moving up through your neck, through the top of your head, all the way up to your own personal star. Then just let your head bend over forward and hang. Gently allow your forehead to float over in the direction of your knees. To do that, your upper back will curve. Your forehead does not ever have to touch your knees. Just float your forehead over in the direction of your knees. Breathe gently into the space in your back between your shoulder blades. Imagine the sun between your shoulder blades that radiates warmth with every inhale into that area. Allow your breath and the image of a radiating sun to help ease your upper back. When you're ready to return to sitting up, unfold from the very bottom of your spine all the way up. Use your breathing to help unfold you like a gentle flower growing upward. Your head and neck will be the last to unfold. As you approach vertical, begin to breathe up your Rolf line and become aware of the space directly above your head. Allow yourself to grow with every inhale up your Rolf line. Begin by walking around the room and just experience yourself walking. What do you notice as you walk? Observe what part of your foot you put down first. Notice how you transfer your weight through each foot and from one foot to the other. Do your feet track straight ahead or do they point outward? Do you feel like you walk on a tightrope? Do you observe a kind of sauntering from side to side with your body as you walk? Now imagine two parallel lines about 6 to 9 inches apart. Each foot tracks along one of these lines straight forward. Now slow your walking down so that you can become more aware of the process of walking itself. Place the heel of your foot down first. Roll onto the ball of your foot, keeping your toes up. Then allow your toes to touch the floor. Shift your weight and place the heel of your other foot to the floor first. Then roll onto the ball of that foot, keeping your toes up. Then let go of your toes. Continue this slow walking and just notice how much you use your ankle. Are you swinging your foot out to the side in order to move it forward? Or do you flex your ankle with each step? Ideally, you'll be flexing your ankle with each step as you walk. Now allow yourself to walk a little bit faster at a more natural speed. Breathe up your Rolf line and have a sense that you can move forward by breathing up. Now lie down on your back on a carpeted surface and put your knees to your chest. Place your hands on the sides of your knees so your elbows are on the floor and your arms are bent. Breathe up to the top of your head, feeling your rib cage expand wide as the flow of your breath travels up your Rolf line. The new movement we'll be doing is called the leg toss. Begin by tossing your legs to one side. Use your hands to actually push your knees over to one side and then to the other so that you're tossing your legs and your pelvis. Once you toss your legs, your hand will let go. Your legs and pelvis swing back and forth on the floor below your rib cage to one side and then to the other. Now it's important that as you toss your legs, your shoulders stay on the floor. By doing the leg toss with your shoulders to the floor, you're encouraging your body to stretch. For some of you, your legs will toss all the way over and touch the floor. For others, they'll go over part way to the floor. Toss them over just as far as they comfortably go. Use your hand to initiate the toss of the legs back up to the other side. As you toss your legs for a little bit, you may notice that you begin to travel downward on the carpet. This is an indication that you are doing this movement correctly. Do the leg toss for a few minutes, and then just let your knees rest to one side. If they don't quite rest comfortably on the carpet with your shoulders to the floor, then place a pillow underneath your knees. With your legs resting to one side and your shoulders still square on the floor, breathe into the space above your pelvis and below your rib cage on your stretched side. Use your inhale to increase the space between your pelvis and your rib cage on that side of you. Use your inhale to help your rib cage lift up and away from your pelvis, and also to help your pelvis lengthen down and away from your rib cage. Feel a gentle stretching of your side with every inhale. You can increase this stretch by reaching your free arm up overhead on the carpet. Keep that arm close to the floor and stretch gently with your fingertips as you inhale. Have a sense that with every inhale you can stretch and lengthen that side of you. When you feel that you've stretched about as much as you can on this side, toss your legs back to your chest. Make sure you go through the knee-chest position and toss your legs over to the other side. And again, be sure that your shoulders are square on the floor. Begin to direct your breathing into the space at your stretched side between the top of your pelvis and the bottom of your rib cage. As you inhale, get a sense of your rib cage lifting up and away from your pelvis, and your pelvis lengthening downward away from your rib cage. To increase this feeling of stretch, move your free arm up overhead on the carpet. With every inhale, reach gently with your fingertips. This stretching movement will help to increase the feeling of length along the side of you. You may notice that you need to spend more time on one side than the other in order to feel that you've equally stretched both sides. Be sensitive to the differences between you from side to side, and give yourself the time that you need on each side. When you feel that you've stretched both sides equally, return to the knee-chest position. With both your knees to your chest, lift your elbows off the floor to place a hand on each knee. Bring both knees straight toward your chest. Your knees will push away from you into your hands, and your hands will resist them. As your knees begin to push away, find that place where you get optimum leverage to bring your waistline back to the floor. When you locate that position, really press your waistline back to the floor and breathe up through your neck and up through the top of your head. Let go and stretch out flat on the floor with your arms above your head on the carpet. Bend your elbows so that your arms can rest comfortably in that position. Slide one knee up so that it's bent and that foot is flat on the floor. Rotate your extended leg so that your toes are pointing straight up to the ceiling. As you inhale, float your extended leg up until it is parallel to the bent thigh of your other leg. Notice that in this position, your waistline is pressed to the floor and your stomach is flat. Extend your heel and continue to stretch your heel as you lower your leg to the floor. Then just let go and breathe up your Rolf line, up through the top of your head. Again, rotate your extended leg so that your toes point straight up. Float your leg up until it is parallel to your bent leg. Extend your heel. Now reach up along the floor with your fingertips on the same side. Stretch this side of your body from your fingertips to your heel. Continue to reach up with your fingertips as you lower your leg, extending your heel the whole way back to the floor. Then just let go and breathe. Reverse your legs so that the other leg is extended and one is bent. Rotate the extended leg so that your toes point straight up. As you inhale, float the extended leg up until it is parallel to the bent thigh. Your waistline will be pressed to the floor and your stomach will be flat. Extend your heel and continue this stretch as you lower your leg. Let go and breathe up. Again, rotate your legs so that the toes point up. Then float your leg up and extend your heel. Now stretch your arm on this side by reaching up along the floor with your fingertips. Feel this stretch from your fingertips to your heel on one side of your body. Then continue to stretch as you lower your leg. Let go of everything and breathe up through the top of your head. Roll over onto your stomach and stretch out. Your arms can be wherever they're comfortable and your head will be turned to one side. Just begin to pay attention to the movement of your breathing. What moves in your back as you inhale? Turn your head to the opposite side and notice how that changes the movement of your breathing. Imagine that you can send your breath into your waistline so that with every inhale your lower back floats up toward the ceiling. This is a subtle, gentle movement. Continue to turn your head frequently so that you don't stay on one side too long. With every exhale, you can just allow yourself to melt into the carpet and relax. You can gently help the movement at your waistline by subtly turning your tail under as you inhale. In this position, turning your tail under means rotating your pelvis downward toward your feet. The breathing and small movement will help you to lengthen your spine and to strengthen the curve in your lower back. Continue to breathe, feeling the movement of your breath, and increase this movement by gently turning your tail under with every inhale. After a few minutes of this type of breathing, gently roll over onto your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. Bring your feet and knees together. We'll review the Rolf pelvic lift. Begin by just letting your tail turn under. Lift by bringing your knees forward, shifting your weight onto your feet. Bring your waistline back to the floor. With your waistline anchored to the floor and your stomach flat, lengthen up through your neck. With your palms flat on the floor and your elbows bent, just reach one hand down toward your feet. Then slide your elbow out an inch. Repeat the same reach with your other arm and slide that elbow out an inch. Breathe up through your neck and then just let go of your pelvis and your tail. Breathe again all the way up through the top of your head. Feel your rib cage widen as you breathe up. Let's repeat that one more time. Just let your tail turn under. Lift by bringing your knees forward. Bring your waistline right back to the floor. Breathe up through your neck. Then reach down gently with one arm toward your feet. Keep your palm on the floor and bend your elbow out. Repeat that with your other arm, reaching down and bending your elbow out. Breathe up through your neck and just let go of your pelvis and your tail. Again, breathe up through the top of your head. Now imagine your Rolf line very clearly all the way up through the top of your head. Imagine that your head can rotate around your Rolf line. Then turn your head gently to the right, only as far as it will go comfortably. Don't push your head any farther than it can easily turn. Now just bring your chin in gently and look down at your right shoulder. This will help to stretch the back of your neck. Let go so your head is free and turn a little bit more to the right. The more your head is able to turn, the more your right ear will be pressed flat to the carpet. Now breathe into your left shoulder, sending the breath all the way up under your collarbone. Feel your ribs expand wide on your left side. Then very gently bring your chin in again and look down slightly at your right shoulder. Let go of that stretch. At this point, just think about turning your head a little bit more. You don't actually have to turn it, just think about turning it. Then again, breathe into your left shoulder. Feel the breath moving up under the left side of your collarbone. Now from this position, we can do an arm reach for your left arm. Reach down gently with your fingertips slightly under your hip. Then just slide your elbow out. Breathe again into your left shoulder. Feel your rib cage widen as the breath moves up under your collarbone on that side. Allow the breath to help ease the stretch along the left side of your neck and shoulder. Now turn your head back to the center, rotating your head around your Rolf line so your nose is lined up with your midline. Then gently turn your head to the left, rotating your head around your Rolf line. Turn to the left just as far as you can go easily. You don't need to push yourself. Now just bring your chin in and look down gently toward your left shoulder. This will help you lengthen the back of your neck. Let go of that stretch so your head is free. Turn your head to the left a little bit more. Your left ear will be pressed to the carpet the more you are able to turn your head to the left. Breathe into your right shoulder, feeling your ribs widen and your collarbone move as your breath fills up your whole right shoulder. Then very gently bring your chin in and look down toward your left shoulder. Let go of that stretch. Just think about turning your head a little bit more. You don't actually have to turn your head, just think about turning it to the left a little bit more. Then we'll repeat the arm reach for your right arm. Reach down with your fingertips slightly under your hip. Then just slide your elbow out. Breathe into your right shoulder, feeling the energy reach all the way up under your collarbone on that side. Allow your breath to help ease the stretch along the right side of your neck to the tip of your shoulder. Then rotate your head back to your midline. Breathe up your Rolf line all the way up through the top of your head. At this point, it's important to repeat the Rolf pelvic lift. Let your tail turn under. Lift by bringing your knees forward. Bring your waistline straight back to the floor. Keeping your waistline anchored to the carpet, breathe up your Rolf line all the way up through the top of your head. Then reach down with the fingertips of one hand slightly under your hip. Slide your elbow out. Repeat this, reaching with the fingertips of your other hand slightly under that hip. Slide your elbow out. Then, keeping your waistline anchored to the carpet, breathe up. Experience your body as organized and balanced around your Rolf line. Then, just let go of your pelvis and your tail. Gently float your knees up to your chest one at a time and place your hands on your knees. Bring your knees straight toward your chest. Now push your knees into your hands and away from you. Find that place of optimum leverage to bring your waistline back to the floor. At this point, breathe up through your neck to lengthen your spine. Really feel that you can work inside your body to lengthen up from deep inside. Then, just let go and relax. Breathe up gently through the top of your head. Then gently roll over to come up to a sitting position and move to a chair. Ideally, you would want to use a regular straight back chair or dining room chair. Sit on the front edge of the chair with your feet and knees slightly apart and your feet under your knees. Let your arms hang to your sides and let your shoulders be relaxed. Breathe all the way up so that you're as tall as you can be. Then just let your head go over and hang forward. Your torso will remain upright and your head and neck will hang. Breathe up into the back of your neck. Then just let the weight of your head take you over so your back will curve as your head floats over. Reach with the top of your head outward as you go over so you don't collapse inward. Your arms continue to hang and your head will eventually hang over between your knees. Your whole back will curve over your body. When you reach the end of your movement, just allow yourself to hang. Remember to let go of your head and your arms and just let everything go. Breathe into your back in the space between your shoulder blades. Imagine a radiating sun between your shoulder blades that radiates outward in all directions across your back and helps you ease the whole length and breadth of your back. When you're ready to come up, use the leverage of your feet pressing against the floor to help you bring your tail under and your waistline back. Start at the bottom of your spine and unfold upward with your tail under and your waistline back. Literally stack your spine over your pelvis. As you unfold back up to a sitting position, your head and neck are the last parts of you to unfold. As they come up, lengthen by breathing upward right along your Rolf line, all the way up to the top of your head. Then gently come up to standing and continue to breathe up your Rolf line. Experience your whole body from your feet on the ground all the way up to your head and the space above your head. Feel your Rolf line in the center of your body and allow the energy of your breath to travel up that line to the top of your head. Have a sense of yourself as a whole person and appreciate that this is you.